All right, so we're going to begin by taking our scissors and cutting along those two solid lines. This is going to make the flaps of our foldable. And you're just cutting only to those dotted lines, not any further. Then what we're going to do along those dotted lines, we're going to fold. So we're going to do this big one first, fold it up. And then if you can see on the back, there's that other fold. We're going to make sure and fold that in. So when we glue it into our notebook, we're going to glue it this way so that when we open it, it's got all of our pieces. So we're going to talk about those basics of an inequality. So the first thing, we need to look at our symbols. So if it's going in this direction, this is a less than symbol. All right, in the other direction, this is a greater than symbol. Both of those, open this, are represented with an open dot on the number line. So this could be something like x is less than 4 is less than -5. Let's close this up. My other options, if it has this equal bar underneath, this is less than or equal to. In that same way as the other one, this is greater than or equal to. Now, since my just regular less than and greater than was an open dot, my less than or equal to and my greater than or equal to are represented with a closed dot. So what this means is on our number line, we actually fill in the whole dot. It's closed. It could equal the values that it's on. So an example would be x is less than or equal to -13, or even y is greater than or equal to +9. Those are two possible examples. Now, how does this all come into play? So let's do a couple examples all together. So my first one, let's have x is less than 4. So what are some options that are where x is less than 4? Could be 3, -1, could be 2, could be 1, could be 0, and a whole bunch more. So my number line, I'm talking about 4, is just less than, it's not equal to, so it's an open dot, not filled in. But then it's all of these values on the left. Now let's say I have something like y is greater than -5. Well, what are some things that are greater than -5? 5 is, 3 is, -1, 0, 15, all of these are greater than -5. So on my number line, if I have -5, same thing, there's no equal sign. So it's an open dot. And I'm talking about values that are greater than. So they're on the right side of this number line. So that's if I have just a less than or a greater than. Now, let's say I'm given the example, x is less than or equal to -13. Well, what are some things that are greater than -13? Well, first of all, it can be equal to, so -13 counts. I'm talking about less than, so I got to keep going. -14, -20, -53. Those are all options less than -13. So on my graph, I'm talking about -13 is my starting point. Since I can equal it, my dot is filled in because of that equal sign. I'm talking about all values less than. Okay, less than -13. Now let's say I have y is greater than or equal to 9. Well, because of the equal sign, it could be equal to 9. And then anything greater, so 10, 12, 50, anything that's larger than 9. So in my number line, I have my starting value of 9. Because of that or equal to, my dot is filled in. And I'm talking about all these greater, so 9, 10, 12, everything that's over here on the right side. So that's what I'm going to look at when I'm doing my graphs. What is it greater than or equal to, and how does it go from there? So now in your notebook, close out these. Notebook. We're actually going to take this, fold it in half, so that we have just a nice little foldable that we can fold out. So on the back of this is where we're going to glue. And you just glue it right in. There you go.